Hi guys, Rachel with Spunky Misfit here, and I finished this beautiful baby just recently. I've been wanting to make a journal with this guy, this steampunk kitty, on it for a while. I've been saving him because he's the last one I had of this, and he does draw a lot of attention, particularly at markets in my booth. And so I finally did, and I think it came out absolutely stunning. I actually looked back at an earlier version of a journal that I made with this guy, kind of in the very, very early days of starting my channel. And it was pretty amazing just seeing how much progress I've made in terms of my eye for what looks good and what's gonna turn out, and how much quicker it's gotten for me to make something that ultimately looks nicer like this. And just kind of all the tips and tricks that are second nature now that I wouldn't have thought to do in the past. So if you're kind of in a beginner state where you're still working or you're just trying to get better, just know that over time, as you continue doing these projects and continue kind of just developing your eye and the different kinds of things that you encounter, like even this little foam tape guy, I put the background of the word. So I cut a little piece of paper that was at the size of just being that background. I glued that straight on, and then I used foam tape on the word itself to give the word a little pop there, and it looks really nice. It was kind of the last thing that I needed to make this all really come together and shine. So I thought I would just show you what I did with this guy. I tried to keep it a little less complicated than some of my other hardcovers, like the mushroom journals, so that I could sell it at a slightly lower cost. Just because I know that some of those really big ones are out of reach for a lot of people. So this guy was used in old books covers for the covers, and I just covered that spine. I have this cork. It's like a cork book cloth. It's like almost fabric, but not like super, somewhere between paper and fabric, with a cork backing. And I think that just turned out really nice, and it often does. I like to use it as a spine, outside spine. And then I used some Stamperia background papers for the cover and back cover to cover that guy up. Some gears, of course, to go with our steampunk guy, a couple of little labels. These are stickers, but I actually glued them on because I never want to rely on that sticker adhesive. And I actually glued my closure in on the inside rather than wrapping it around this time, just because I decided I liked that different look. So I just glued this closure in before I did my end papers. And I have gone through the whole process of how I make these hardcover junk journals in other videos. If you're looking for that, just let me know and I can probably help you find them. So then I did a bigger pocket and a smaller pocket on the inside here. This was really fun. I have a lot of kind of random steampunk C papers left over from my Stamperia packets from using them to make envelope journals, and I just turned him into a die cut tag by cutting him out and backing him with some craft card. And then I filled this guy up with a few different things. This is a pink monarch steampunk blue collection, I guess, that she has. That's an envelope. I forget where this guy came from. This was somebody's printable too. And then this one's a Victoria steampunk. I have a lot of Victoria steampunk stuff. I believe the papers are 3 Wishes Co. steampunk, but I have to double check on that. I really like this Steampunk pack for the papers, especially. The ephemera is not great, but the papers are lovely. And then this is Victoria Designs Gentleman Cats. And so I kind of mixed, since this guy was a steampunk cat, I kind of mixed steampunk things with cat-related things. And these guys are pretty steampunk too, because they're, you know, all Victorian and dressed up in their top hats and goggles and things. So it makes a natural fit. I've had this from a Stamperia paper pack sitting around for ages because I loved this balloon and I couldn't figure out what to do with it. So it made a nice, just kind of visual pretty guy inside here. And I did this little flap, which I showed in a recent video. One of the pages in here I just did on a recent video. So I'll link to that video and I'll tell you about it when I come to it if you haven't seen that video. So I just made this into a little pocket just by gluing only the edges there and gave it a cute little line of cards and tags that fit in there, and used that same principle for the words as I used on the cover to make that look really stunning and gorgeous. And then this guy is just a belly band that I decorated, did a little stamping on, and gave a little extra. And then this is a notebook. Very simple. I just sewed together a notebook and put that belly band off to the side rather than in the middle so that this guy would naturally be able to just slide in there on top of that belly band. This is also a Stamperia piece of paper that I have been having hanging around for ages. Just trying to figure out what to do with some of these bigger, nice guys. And then I made some cards. This is a Emma Parrish Steampunk kit, some bits from there. Steampunk Fairies, I believe, is that kit, which I like a lot. And then this guy I made on a recent video as well, which I will also try to remember to link to, and it is a collapsible box. And I had this grand idea. So with the mushroom journal, I made this box. I made a box for it, but it was different. The way I did the closure was different. And I went to glue this guy in there into the journal and then realized, oh gosh, with the way I've made this closure, I can't actually glue it in there because I'll glue my box closed, basically. I won't be able to open the other side of the closure. And so I made this little special pocket / 2 belly bands for it so that it could come and sit in here. So I just used 2 pieces of paper with tabs to be belly bands, and then I added one to the bottom because if I left it as belly bands, it just fell right out. So little different creative problem solving there for you in this guy. So now he has his little fold out box in there. This is another flappy one that I did. So this is the one I did in the other video, the back side here. So I have just a nice big envelope that I made to size for this guy. And then these 2 cute envelopes with matching cards that go on the back. And that's the video that I did recently. I will link to that. And just kept it simple here with a hidden paper clip. I did make these on a video once upon a time long ago. I'm really not sure where that one was, but I made 12, I think, out of just one piece of 12 by 12. So I've kind of kept some of those projects hanging around for adding to journals when they fit. This page is super fun. So this is actually a fold out that has belly bands that keep this kind of bookmark guy in there. And then I just did a writing spot with a little bit of stamping, and that folds out like this. And I actually cut the edge too to be die cut to the train's little propeller back there. And so then this guy folds out here. And so this was a little flap, right, that I sewed in when I sewed the signatures in, a short page. And I added this guy on here underneath and then just did a big tag with a pocket that goes underneath this. Maybe I'll try to do another one of that page in a future journal and do it on video for you guys. And so then this just has a couple of things in here, card from Emma and a little envelope from Victoria. I think this is from the Steampunk Blue from Pink Monarch. I made it work. Steampunk really needs a lot of kind of eclectic pieces. And then this was just a leftover Stamperia piece of paper. Again, I made into a big envelope. I really like that sort of dramatic look of a big envelope on these shorter pieces. I had covered the back of the tag with a piece of book page paper and then stamped it just so those edges that were showing would look nice. And then did a bit of washi tape in between because I didn't like the way it was going to look before I glued that on. And that is the back, just a big pocket back here. I kind of like those big guys that can hold some of these bigger ephemera pieces. Just made another little card there and added a couple of cards and tags. And that is the Steampunk Cat hardcover. Hopefully you can draw a little bit of inspiration from there. I know a lot of people really enjoyed watching the hardcover mushroom flip through as well. I'll also try to link to that. You can see kind of the insides of my bigger journals that are more of a production. And this guy is, at the time of recording, in my Etsy shop on sale. So you can find him there. I'll link to him there too, assuming I don't sell him before this video even goes up, which does sometimes happen. So check him out. And also, don't forget to hit like on the video. I really appreciate it when you do. It helps my videos get seen. And subscribe to the channel as well. And I will see you in the next video.